Aubrey, are you one of those people who is like, I knew that was going to happen, or I told you so, or, just sort of always saying that, like, you predicted the future? Do you ever do that in conversations?
I mostly do it in films, right? I just watched Where the Crawdads Sing in the theater. It's so good. It's based on an amazing novel. I highly recommend both.
Cool.
But I hadn't actually read the novel, so I didn't know what happens at the end, and I did see it coming. I did predict it. So then at the end, I couldn't help myself. I was like, I totally knew that was happening. I saw that coming. And I was having to like pinch my hand to not tell the people sitting next to me. My sister was there, and I'm like, I really want to say, I think this is what's going to happen. But I was worried I would ruin the film, right? That's awesome. That way. What about you, Jessica? Do you do that?
Yeah, I'm the same, like with movies, because we take in so much pop culture that like you do know what it means.
Totally.
Like if you see this in the first act, you know it's going to come back at the end, right? Guys, we are bringing you an All Ears English episode today. And don't worry, we're still going to have all of our normal IELTS episodes, but we do want to remind you guys that you can get fantastic vocabulary and ideas for your IELTS exam on All Ears English. Because remember, guys, doing well on IELTS is not just learning about the test. You need great natural English as well. So we're bringing you an All Ears English episode today, a recent one with vocabulary and a few cultural tips about predicting the future and saying you predicted the future. So without further ado, let's get to that episode.
This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 1839. How to say that you predicted something in English. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. To get real-time transcripts right on your phone and create your personalized vocabulary list, try the All Ears English app for iOS and Android. Start your 7-day free trial at allearsenglish.com/app.
Are you that person who always predicts the ending of movies or even events in life? Today, learn how to say that you saw something coming and when not to say it in English. Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Doing great, Michelle. I'm happy to be here. And today's episode is actually on YouTube as well as on the podcast. So we're on video. Feeling good.
Hey, yes, exactly. Lindsay, I have a question. Are you good at predicting the ends to TV shows or movies or books? Like, is that a talent of yours?
Personally, not me, but I do know people who are very good at it. And it's uncanny, Michelle. It's uncanny. That's a great word for our listeners for today. What does that mean? Uncanny.
It's kind of like, it's uncanny as like surprising or like a very... I don't know. How would you explain uncanny?
It's probably a combination of rare and hard to understand how good the skill is, right? Like a high level of skill, a rare level of skill. Right. So I think it's uncanny the way some people can predict the ending or what's going to happen in a city. What about you?
Maybe we'll do an episode on this one because I also feel like you use uncanny like, oh, you guys look exactly alike. It's uncanny, right?
Oh, yeah. Kind of surprising and strange. It is kind of a dynamic word. It means a lot of things, but it's also very precise. So it's a good one. Yeah.
Well, guys, that is not what this episode is about, but we gave you an extra one in there. Yeah. Today we're talking about predicting the endings. Yeah, sometimes I get excited because I think that I can predict the ending, and sometimes I'm good at it and sometimes I'm not.
Okay,
but often when I do throw out a prediction, Dan gets mad at me. Like, don't even just stick that idea in my head.
Interesting. Okay.
He likes to be surprised. And I like to talk it out and be like, oh, they think this will happen. And yeah.
Interesting. I love that. That's so funny. I mean, yeah, you do have to, I will say, and we've done a whole episode on this, right, Michelle? We're going to send you guys to episode 1400. Don't give away the ending. How to keep TV show twists a surprise in English. You should be really careful. This is like a social skill, right? To be careful not to, you know, in certain company, reveal what happens or what's going to happen in a especially TV series that everyone's into, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So guys, we are going to be getting into this idea of how can you express that you did predict the ending, just like that that moment of kind of glory, like I knew it. So we're gonna talk about that today. So but before we get into it, we want to remind you to listen to Aubrey and Jessica over on the IELTS Energy podcast. They have so much experience over there, so much wisdom to give, and if you are taking the IELTS exam soon, you're preparing for it, this is perfect. This is a perfect place to learn.
Exactly. So guys, go over right now and type in IELTS Energy Podcast and you will find it. It's another yellow podcast, right? The color is yellow and we are over there. So hit follow on that podcast too. If you do need to prepare for IELTS, we have you covered. All right. Good stuff, Michelle. Okay, let's get into it. Yes.
Okay, so what's the first thing you can say?
All right. I love this. You can say, can't say I'm surprised. And my intonation matters there too, I think, doesn't it, Michelle? Yeah.
Right. So yeah, can't say I'm surprised. Now, this could be for many different things. I mean, you know, it could be for real life too. It could be for predicting an ending of something. So for example, like, I can't say I'm surprised that they got together in the end.
Yeah, that's true, right? Real life or a movie for sure. And can you say that intonation again one more time for our listeners?
I will. Here we go. Can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's almost like in that intonation, I hear something and it's almost like a wisdom or it's like a told you so, right? It's kind of a told you so. Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. True. It does have that kind of feel to it. Or another thing is like very direct, straightforward. I knew it, or I knew that would happen. And also the intonation is important there too. Like you have to I knew it. I knew that would happen.
I knew that would happen, right? Here's a sample sentence. So it ended with him moving to France. Oh, I knew that would happen. And now, Michelle, here's a question. Are these responses appropriate for movies and TV shows and life too? Or is this really just more for movies and TV shows?
I think can't say I'm surprised is appropriate for regular life too. Although I do think it has a tinge of judgment to it.
You got to be careful with that. Yeah, especially if the outcome is negative, right?
Can't say I'm surprised. Yeah, that kind of sounds a little bit judgmental. So be careful with that one. I knew that would happen. Yeah, you can use it as well. But I think I like that one sounds a little bit more TV movie-ish to me. What do you think?
TV movie-ish, I would say, yeah, because it's kind of a spectator thing. Oh, I knew that would happen. You're making it a show. It's not like, life is life. Life is not a show you're watching, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or like it could be about watching a sports game. Like, oh, he got rejected. Like I knew that would happen. He always fights, in the games,
for sure. A sports game would be a great example of that. Absolutely. Yeah, you're following it. Okay, I like this one. This next one, guys. I saw that coming. And you can add, I saw that coming. Sorry, I saw that one coming, or I saw that one coming a mile away.
Yes. So you can play around with it. Yeah. I saw that coming. I saw I could see that coming, right? Like you can play around with that first part, but you can add a mile away on if you like. And that basically, that's just a good expression in itself. Like a mile away, like very far away. I knew it basically.
For sure. And here's the sample sentence. The ending was good, but I saw it coming from a mile away. So that means it was predictable, right? Some shows are just pretty predictable. You know what's going to happen.
Right.
I just tried episode 1 of the Sex and the City, the update, right? The Just Like That.
Yep. I watched also that episode.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted to finish it just for fun, but Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I just feel like it's done. It's been done 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, leave it in the past. Some things don't need to be reborn and revived. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a fun show at that time. We don't need a 20-year update, That's my opinion, but
Yeah. I watched the first episode and then I don't think I will be watching it anymore.
Man, I have a feeling that's the way that's
not-
going to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I had nothing else to do, but there are a lot of things that I like to watch. Oh, actually, Lindsay, you like Queer Eye.
I love Queer
Did you
Eye.
know that Jonathan Van Ness has a new solo show?
I didn't know that. What's it about?
I started watching it last night. It's apparently off of, he has a podcast called Getting Curious.
Yeah.
And it's a TV version of it, and it's on Netflix. And
Cool.
if you like Jonathan Van Ness, you'll like the show. I just watched 2 last night.
Oh, wonderful. I will definitely check that out. I like him a lot. I love it. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Very good.
All right.
So a little side point there on the shows we're watching these days, but it does tie in, guys, because, a lot of the stuff I saw in that first episode of that Sex and the City series, I saw it coming from a mile away, right? It's predictable what's going to happen in certain situations. And when shows become predictable is when they become less good, right? I mean, the fact is society's changed a lot since the aughts, since the 2000s. Right. And I think that show is trying to change with it, but it doesn't 100%. I don't know. It's just it's a weird moment
Sometimes
for that
it's a
show.
little embarrassing, because they're talking about how old they've gotten and this and that. And it's just like a little cheesy and I don't know. They're not even old. And
They're not old.
like it's like a lot of like, oh, my hair is gray now. Like it's just
I know.
a little
Too
bit
obvious.
forced into showing the age, right?
Totally.
Like I don't know. I wish they would leave some of the age stuff out of it. I don't know.
Me too. I don't think that stuff was needed. Like there was a comment, a lot of dialogue around Miranda's hair that she's growing out her gray, by the way, which is an expression in English. Growing out your gray means you don't dye your hair as an older woman. And there was a lot of conversation about that debate. Oh, you should dye. And it's tired. Like we know she has gray hair. Move on.
It's a little forced.
It's a little forced. I agree. Yeah. So anyways, that's the last I'm going to say about that.
That's but I agree. So then you used already a couple times this word predictable. So you can say that was so predictable. So you could say like, so let me guess, she won. Wow, that was so predictable.
Exactly. And that doesn't necessarily make for good TV or good entertainment, right? So Michelle, let's ask an opinion question here. Should you always, if you're that person that predicts the ending, should you always say, oh, you knew that, right? That was so predictable. I could have seen that from a mile away. Should you say that? Is that good taste or what do you think?
I don't think you want to be known for it. And like, because this is saying like, oh, I knew it. Like it has like a little bit of a know-it-all feel.
Yeah.
I think if maybe like let's say we're watching something and you are like really surprised about the ending and I was just like, oh, that was so predictable. Like it's a little annoying. Like
yeah. Well,
I mean, it's fine, but if you do it all the time, it's a little annoying.
Yeah, and maybe a little condescending at the same time. Like, how did I not know, right? And you knew.
It's like it feels like a little judgmental, even though you're not necessarily trying.
Exactly. I love that. So just be tactful, maybe depending on who you're around, maybe if you're around your partner or something and it's fine, whatever, they know who you are. But if you're around new people and they're just getting to know you, maybe you don't want to seem like the person that knows everything all the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, let's do a little role play with this.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
Give it a go. So, here we are. We just finished a TV show we were watching together.
Okay. Wow. I can't believe that happened. What an ending.
Yeah, it was good, but I can't say I'm surprised he never opened the message.
Really? I thought he would.
I don't know. That was so predictable.
Oh, okay. Well, how about the final phone call? I knew that would happen.
Yes, I agree, but it was still emotional.
Definitely. I saw that one coming.
True.
So it's kind of like I felt a bit of peer pressure to share the moments that I was predicting because you seem to know everything about it.
You're like, yes, I knew this.
So that was funny. So what did we use here, Michelle, from our teaching? What did we use for our listeners?
Well, I said, I can't say I'm surprised he never opened the message.
Uh-huh. And then you said, I don't know. That was so predictable. You're also showing a bit of disappointment that it was so predictable, right?
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. And then so you said this is so predictable, and then you said, well, what about that? The final phone call. I knew that would happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to your level here of being such a what's that expression when you can really predict everything that's going to be happening in the future? Such a I don't know. We don't have it. We don't have the word. All right, moving on.
We don't have it.
That's okay. And then I said, definitely. I saw that one coming. Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
Exactly.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners, Michelle, today?
Okay. Well, this can be fun. It can be fun to express that you predicted something correctly, or that something was predictable, maybe in a way that you're like, yeah. Sometimes when things are too predictable, it's not as much fun. So here you can express those things, but don't use it all the time.
Yes, everything in moderation.
Use it in moderation. So I think that is the takeaway for today.
I love that. And guys, remember, just engage with these conversations, right? This is a great, easy thing to talk about. And I do think we've said this before, Michelle, we talk a lot about music, movie, books, TV shows and things on this show, but these help you bond immediately. Even the fact that you and I both saw that first episode of Sex and the City, we didn't really like it, and we bonded over that. It's an immediate connection point. So open these conversations. Don't be that person that always knows the ending, but once in a while, express that. And that's kind of cool. That'll bring you closer to that person. I love it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Lindsay, this was fun, and have a good rest of your day.
Sounds good, Michelle. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.
That was fantastic. I love them. I think my favorite phrase, though, which I use from this episode, is I saw that coming a mile away. How can students use that on the IELTS exam?
Oh, this would be so useful on IELTS speaking. Anytime you're talking about something you knew was going to happen, right? I could see this being useful part 1, 2, and 3.
Totally.
Instead of saying, I saw that coming, I wasn't surprised, instead use this more idiomatic language and the great intonation that comes with it to say, I saw that coming a mile away.
Totally. Yeah. If you're asked to describe a book or a movie or a TV show series in part 2, right? Just like Aubrey and I said, this is a lot how we use these phrases. So you're asked about pop culture and entertainment on IELTS. You can also use this. Describe a movie you saw recently, right? You could describe it and then say what the ending was and then say, but I saw that coming from a mile away because it's a romantic comedy. Of course they're going to get together at the end, or just
right. And on part 3, more, important society issues. Imagine you're asked about technology, teenagers, and the negative side of social media or technology.
Yeah.
To share your opinion there too. To talk about, the problems and then say, honestly, I saw this coming a mile away as soon as Instagram came out and teenagers are looking at their phones all the time, right? This is the type of idiom that can relate to so many questions. So useful.
Yeah, because I think the grammar of saying, I knew that was going to happen. I think those verb tenses, all that structure in there is tricky for students. And you know what? Using this idiom is better anyway for your vocab score. So just say, you saw that coming a mile away. All right, guys, remember in the search bar right now, wherever you're listening, even on YouTube, if you're watching us there, type in All Ears English. You will see a yellow picture pop up, bright yellow, with Lindsay and Michelle. Hit follow or subscribe wherever you are watching or listening to us right now. And remember, Aubrey and I will still be here for regular IELTS episodes. All right, Aubrey, see you next time.
Yep, see ya.
Bye.